There's a common phrase that I always remember when it comes to business, and when there's a gold rush, you want to sell shovels instead of going to mine for gold, because that's more profitable. And that is exactly what is happening in the technology sector. More and more people are going to sell you algorithms and code courses, those representing the shovels, so that you can go mine for gold. The gold rush representing getting a job at FANG companies, Google, Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, the Silicon Valley dream. Because who doesn't want to work at one of those companies? You've seen the day in the life videos on YouTube where everyone apparently just does no work and they all get paid $500,000 a year with puppy breaks and all kinds of ridiculousness. When you're learning code, you think that life can't be any better unless you get a job in Silicon Valley working at one of these amazing companies. But when people talk about the salary, usually that's the first thing. They're blinded by that number. They don't ever hear about the cost of living behind that salary. If 90% of your salary is just paying your rent, is that really a lot of money? Okay, the company provides breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay, well, do you ever stop working? Do you ever have a need to leave the office then? Oh, well, if I can just get this company on my resume, then I'll have a job forever. Does having this company on your resume actually mean that you're any better of a worker than anyone else? Does it really, or does it mean that you just passed the interview and you've got a job at the company? So the question I'd like you to ask is, if these places are so fantastic and so great and so amazing, why do all the people that quit working at these places end up selling you a course on how to work at those places? If it's so great, why'd you quit? Wasn't that the dream, right? Didn't you get there and you want to stay there and you want to work there? And no, you quit and then you made a algorithm company to sell me how to get there. That's kind of strange. And they'll say things like, "Oh, I've moved on, I've grown past," and whatever. No, I mean, the reality of it is that it's just a lot more profitable to sell the dream and sell the shovels than it is to actually go mine for gold. And that's just how business is. I get it, I understand it, nothing wrong with that. But what I think happens is people get so wrapped up in having to just get to one of these so-called top tech companies that they just forget that other companies exist. And the reality is, there are so many other companies that are just as good, and just because you don't work at a quote top tech company or a FANG company or a Silicon Valley company doesn't mean that you're any less of a developer or a worker or whatever it is that you do at these companies. And what defines a top tech company anyways? Is it your salary? Is it how prevalent the companies are in the media? Is it how much status it can bring you if you work there? Apparently on social media it is. If you worked at Google or Facebook, you're automatically a god. But to me, a top tech company means a company that respects my time, pays me fair, treats me right, challenges my abilities just the right amount so it doesn't totally throw me in the deep end, and then supports my growth when I need help so I get a mentor that actually mentors me. None of those qualities of a company are exclusive to a job in Silicon Valley. None of that is exclusive to Google or Facebook or Apple or Amazon or wherever it is. So when people say you're not working at a top tech company or you never have, it's subjective. It doesn't matter. It's what is a top tech company to you? Does it provide for you in the ways that it matters to you? Maybe people just don't take the job because they don't want to live in Silicon Valley because that's just not the place for them and their family's elsewhere, or they just like other things. I get the question a lot, what's the best place to live for this technology stack? And I'm like, why does that matter? Shouldn't you be living in a place that you're happy with? Shouldn't that be the first priority of your life, living where you want to be in a place that provides the things that you want to do in life? And what's happening is people are designing their life around work. And instead, what people should be doing is design their work around their life. You don't live to work. You work to live. Just because it's a smaller company and it's not in the news, they're not glamorized, they're just regular jobs, they're lower level jobs, it doesn't mean anything. There are plenty of good jobs out there that will compensate you fairly and treat you right. Yes, some of them have corporate cringe. Yes, some of them are crappy. Yes, I've had bad experiences, but that doesn't take away from the fact that there are good jobs out there that will benefit you for whatever you need to use them for. But anyways, back to the gold rush concept here. Courses are the new meta in the world. They're the new shovels for the gold rush, so to speak. And with colleges becoming more and more irrelevant for software jobs, it makes sense. Why go to school for 4 years and get in loads of debt when you don't do any of what you learned at college on the job, really? I can see that there are some courses out there that are filling in a need and that are providing great value and great content. But the thing is, I think that it allows for some kind of disingenuous players to enter the game and also offer their courses and material that you don't really need. When an economic recession hits, people lose their jobs. And you know what the first thing you see on TV is, or in advertisements, is higher education. Hey, you were laid off from your job? Oh, it's because you didn't have the right skills. Come learn from us, so that way the next time an economic recession happens, you won't be let go, and you'll have those job-ready skills, and you'll have that so-called, quote, job security. The truth is, there is no job security. There is only job skill security. Your skill and your product and the value that it adds, or the problem that it solves, or the service that it improves, your ability to market and sell that skill or product, and your ability to shift your skills and your products or services according to whatever market changes or the market demands. If you can do all three of those things, then you win. You will always have security because you can adapt. Anyways, there's going to constantly be people in life that try to sell you a shovel for a gold rush, a dream of some sort that everyone wants, the dream of wealth and fame and whatever, and working at Google in the developer world is that dream. Another example of a gold rush and selling shovels is back in like 2012, 2013, when code boot camps were not really a thing yet. They were just up and coming. And when the graduates of the first code boot camps that were around started to realize companies were going to hire these graduates, they realized it was more profitable for them to just go to a code boot camp, graduate, and then start their own code boot camp than it was for those same graduates to go and work as software engineers. Not all boot camps do this, don't get me wrong. You can tell the good boot camps from the bad boot camps based on if the boot camp has any skin in the game, based on if they have any financial guarantee. The boot camps that don't have any financial guarantee have no skin in the game, and if you're new to the industry, they could say, oh, we teach you jQuery, that's state-of-the-art technology. You'd believe it because you don't know any better, and then you graduate and can't get a job, and there's no guarantee, and so they got their money, and please talk to customer support if you want your money back. And so the boot camps that do have the financial guarantee of some sort, like either you don't pay until you get a job, or if you don't get a job in X amount of time, you get all your money back, they have skin in the game because they know they're gonna have to give all their money back to their students if they don't get them jobs. So again, not all boot camps do this, but that was just an example. The purpose of this video is not to say that all algorithmic courses are bad, or all boot camps are bad, or all video courses are bad, or educational products in general are bad, because shoot, even I have those, right? The purpose is to just bring some awareness to what you're seeing and just ask yourself, are you buying a shovel to dig for a dream, for a gold rush, or are you buying a hammer and nails so that you can build your own dream? At the end of the day, whatever you do is your choice. It's perfectly fine to go work at Google or Apple or Amazon or Facebook or Microsoft, but just recognize that there is a gold rush and there are people selling you shovels for that gold rush. Just some food for thought. If you enjoyed the video, maybe click subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you think. If you hated the video, click thumbs down, double smash thumbs down. In fact, really let me know that you hated it. Make sure to emphasize. And I'm trying to get to 200K by 2020, but it's not gonna happen. YouTube removed 4,000 of my subscribers, so on my analytics, I'm actually at 190. I was really close, but whatever. We made a good effort, and I'll see you guys in the next one.